Okay, then we can just proceed. Uh, Apologies. I think we are a quorum, and I think Dion has indicated that he's standing in for that item.
So proposed, Chair.
Thank you very much, Francois. Thank you very much, Dion. So we. And then today, place portion of Earth 513 Napier. It is a subdivision consolidation Ward 1. So I think I'm just going to give to the planner, who is going to give us a brief introduction in respect of the.
Yeah, just in the newspapers and the whole public participation process. So we have a closure of a public road, consolidation, rezoning, subdivision of that property, and the removal of restrictive conditions. Portion of road, Trade Street from council to incorporate it into his property for the development of a housing development. The council decided in principle to approve this disposal of land, subject to the planning tribunal. This is the proposed, the church and the OK, if it's a reference, and it's next to the retirement village. So, just 1 second. Okay, this is currently. Okay. So for the public participation, the public participation process, it was initiated on the 9th of December 2022. Leasing forums, telecommunication providers, district municipalities, environmental conservation bodies, residents associations, and various government departments. Public notice was also placed in the local newspaper as well as the municipal website to inform a wider part of the community. We received 7 comments in feedback. A summary of this, comments may not contribute positively to the economic processes regarding the sale will be in accordance with the supply chain processes. Concerns that all necessary putting higher density along main to all commenters to give them another opportunity for comment. The services that needs to be committee supports the application, suggesting that Mr. deleted now the demands. The community has expressed visual aesthetics of the to mitigate adverse impacts. The SDF alignment, the property is not located within the densification alignment. Are concerns about the proposed subdivision of the property onto smaller urban, which could result in a development that could be out of character, similar medium density and diverse housing in line with planning policies and consider the long-term implications of the development. Some onerous shortfalls of the application may lead to potential further conditions or a new land use application. The building architect be addressed. Decision, and then this application will be subject to the approval of the rest of the land use application.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abraham. I think that was very been coming on for some time before we consider.
Put up the wording of the recommendation.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with the closure of the public road, but that last section of the sentence must be action that's part of the sentence. We will just have to remove that. No, the first bullet. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't very clear. The first bullet and the request under section 26.5, that's not a tribunal decision.
Yes, again, for clarity, the portions adjacent, the Earth 1296, 55 and 57. Just want confirmation about the properties, either then from High Street or from which is below Sarelsleer Street, if possible. Thank you.
Okay, so the owner of 1296, her entry gate is located here. And then the owners of Earth 57 also have a point of entry over there. No, he gains access from Sorrel Street.
Carstens, please proceed.
Yeah, just a question. Is it a closed, a gated development? And will they have a separate road, or will it form part of the development, that access?
In terms of this site development plan, they will use the same access gate and road to access their properties.
Okay.
Ek noem daai eerste erf 57 se primêre ingang is eintlik uit Hoogstraat uit. Maar hulle het 'n ander pad en daai twee mense wil toegang hê, gaan hulle dan soort van deel vorm van die beheerliggaam.
Die agtergrondverslag, maar miskien kan jy net 'n bietjie lig weer op asseblief. If you can just shed some light on the question that.
Ja, kyk op die stadium, at this stage we only discussed about the right of way servitude for the owners. So yeah, that's something we will need to discuss in terms of decisions of approval or conditions of approval.
I'm first going to give Francois and then Tracy an opportunity.
Chair, then if there's any future sale of Earth 1359 in the future, will that access be maintained for those two adjacent urban?
Yes.
Yes, can we just put that on record, please? Will it be? So that will be part of the conditions of this approval.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Tracy?
Thank you. Yes, in terms of the council resolution where we initially considered the alienation of the road subject to the town planning process, there's going to be a notarial lease. So irrespective of whether land gets sold or not, that lease will always stay, or, that condition will stay in place. Part of the servitude agreement, we can actually make a provision in there to the effect that the owners will always have access. I'm not sure how exactly we would do it. We need to look at the wording, but we can bring it in.
Akte wees nie. Die reg van weg en kan ek maar Afrikaans?
Ja, enige tyd.
Die bewoording moet ook net reg wees van daai besluit. Dit is 'n onderverdeling vir die doel om 'n servituut te registreer. Ons kan dit ook as 'n voorwaarde oplê. Want mens kan nou nie staat maak op wat later goedgekeur word nie. Jy moet nou vir daardie mense toegang verseker met die huidige besluit.
Ja.
Die site development plan dui wat se areas as servituut geregistreer gaan word. Okay.
Natuurlik 'n aparte aansoek wees nadat die hele land use application goedgekeur is, dan is dit 'n aparte aansoek daai servituut om geregistreer te word. Ja, dit moet 'n kondisie, nie 'n voorwaarde wees nou, ja.
Okay, so I think what Mrs. Carsten is requesting that we just make sure that those details are covered in the approval recommendation if the planning tribunal approves it, that we don't miss out and found out there's implications after. Points of clarity, can we, before we ask for a formal recommendation for this application? Dion?
Voorsitter, net verduidelik het, ek kan nou nie onthou of dit geantwoord is nie, maar gaan die reg van weg, word dit in die titelakte van die twee eienaars ook geregistreer?
I think that's,
Ek dink amper die raadsbesluit het.
Dis reg.
So,
yeah, that was one.
Dit is net 'n verdere safety net vir daai twee.
Okay, thank you. Can we get a formal recommendation then for this application that is before us? Maybe Abraham, if you just put up the wording that we all are certain that it covers all the aspects that have been raised here today. Okay, the first one, approval of the closure of a portion of public roads, section 15(2)(n). Point. Stop. We covered in terms of that, all of us agree? Okay, then for the approval of the consolidation of the proposed portion of the public road, portion B, with earth 1359, portion A. Nothing you want to add? That covers what our intention is. The registration of right-of-way servitudes in favor of the affected neighbors or property owners of 57 and 1296.
Yeah,
Carsten?
we can just add a subdivision in terms of section 15(2)(d), because a servitude is included. It's also a form of a subdivision, just so that it's accurate.
Okay. Jy het hom so, Abraham? So hy sal uitgaan met die formele korrespondensie aan die applikant. And then okay, you can continue.
Sorry, just the last bullet. I don't think we can put that in. If this decision is taken, it's can't. Can you do that? Darcy?
Does this indicate to us what is the implication of that? This application will be subject to the approval of the rest of the land use application. So now?
Council resolution. Council resolution was actually they approved the application subject to the land use application's approval. Otherwise, sell the land or transfer the land.
Mm-hmm.
That was the council resolution.
Yes, we actually debated this morning, but you know, the difficulty that you have is, just say hypothetically, if the rest of the application was not approved, then we've closed. Happy, you know, to change it. But you know, the idea is that, I mean, if the other application or the rest of the application was not approved, then we wouldn't want to go through this process. So it's a difficult one, I know, because you know, especially with the alienation and this, everything's sort of subject to everything else. But I'm open to any suggestion there. There's maybe a better way of doing it.
I'm not sure, but I think it should rather be a condition then, and not necessarily, it should not form part of the decision.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, I totally agree.
In some way, then that is fine. If it's better as a condition, great.
I just want to understand, where does this leave the applicant? Because I know the land, the disposal part of the road, the portion of the road has been approved by council subject to the approval of this application. And now we're approving this, which means the disposal of the land obviously can be executed and can go through. So is there anything else that have to follow out of this process?
The rest of this application should now be approved by or decided.
That it's not coming back to the planning tribunal. And I think this is a unanimous decision from the Cape Agulhas Municipal Planning Tribunal for the approval of the application for closure of the public place portion of 513 Napier, the subdivision consolidation, removal of restrictive title conditions, and rezoning of 1359 Napier. Can I accept that as a unanimous decision? Nobody that is, what do you call it, vehemently last item on the agenda itself? Nothing else? So thank you very much for everybody's participation, and thanks, Abraham, for the sterling work. I mean, you made the discussion much easier for us and clearly understandable. So thanks a lot for that. And then I declare this Cape Agulhas Municipal Planning Tribunal meeting adjourned. Thanks.